in the last 2 years, and we'll see how much of a problem that causes him, because he's got a tough guy to contend with tonight in Todd Foster.
Todd Foster has had a meticulous, calculated, and some would say slow rise through the lightweight ranks. He says it's been timed just fine for him. This 21-year-old took care of Chino Marcial in Las Vegas with power and hand speed. Offense has never been a problem for Todd.
As it said on the back of his warm-up jacket that he came into the ring with. Let's talk about the keys to victory in this one now.
All right, I think for Foster, the jab, always important for him. Throw solid combinations early. That's when he can really set the tone against Montana. Montana wants to take the fight into the later rounds, if at all possible, and rough up Foster, get him really off his rhythm, turn this into a crazy brawl.
Simply said, it is a tall task for Davey Montana, who, frankly, is not real tall. Let's get to meet him now with the ring announcer, your friend and ours.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the featured bout of the evening, brought to you by Top Rank Incorporated and the undisputed, undefeated king of beer, Budweiser. This bout is sanctioned by the Montana State Board of Athletics, Chairman Andy Vandala, Commissioners Dr. John Helseth and Harry Atchison. Supervisor ringside, Mary Lou Garrett. The 3 judges for this bout will be Joe Antonietti, Kevin McCarl, and Gerald Dunbar. The physician assigned to ringside is Dr. James Drynan. Timekeeper, Bob LaCour. Counting for the knockdown seconds, John Gillespie. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the Big Sky country of Montana, right here in Butte, Montana, let's get ready to rumble! 12 rounds of boxing. This is for the vacant Montana State Junior Welterweight Championship. The referee for this contest is John Lefevre. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He's wearing the blue trunks with white trim and weighs an even 140 pounds. He's from Victor, Montana. As a professional, 20 victories with 15 KOs against 11 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, Davey Montana. And across the ring in the blue corner, his opponent wearing the black trunks with silver trim, weighing 139 1/2 pounds. He's from Great Falls, Montana. This 1988 Olympic team member is 19-0 with 16 KOs as a professional. He currently holds the Montana State title in the lightweight division, stepping up to 140 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, Todd "Kid" Foster.
Both of them, I give you both their instructions in the dressing room. I want a clean fight. Watch your headbutts, watch the low blows. In case of a knockdown, go to a neutral corner, shake hands, and come out fighting, guys. Good luck.
Well, I'd say the stare down was a draw. Here's a look at Davey Montana, and he did bring a Rudy section. So as we mentioned at the very beginning of the show, a little bit unusual for Todd Foster in that when he does fight here in the state of Montana, he usually has everybody in the audience in his corner, but not so tonight.
Very good point, and as you look from Todd Foster's view, you see a man who says, Davey Montana said very much, I did not come here to fall down for him. I came here to do my best to win, and I think I can.
I don't have any doubt that he will try to do his best, but I think the lack of experience and the fact that he hasn't really spent a lot of hours in the gym, he has a job, he is a drywaller. That won't set real well, I would think.
Well, we have seen Davey Montana before here on ESPN. Now, there's what he wants to do, get Foster against the ropes. We saw him lose against John Meekins in 1 round. There's the knockout ratio, which favors Foster, obviously. He lost the 1 round to John Meekins in August of '86 back in Atlantic City, got knocked out in 1 round. He's been in with some tough guys. Lost to Bobby Chacon, beat Joey Oliveira. Lost to Nico Perez over 10 rounds, a tough man. Lost to Pernell Whitaker in 4 rounds.
Showing some good movement with the head early in this fight. I do want to mention before we get too far into this fight too, Todd Foster asked us to remind the folks out there he is dedicating this fight to the Valdez family. Their 13-year-old son Shane accidentally shot while playing with a gun in Billings, Montana. So Todd dedicating tonight's fight to the family of Shane Valdez. Montana doing some good work inside.
And landed an excellent left hook. I know Todd Foster, if there's one thing he doesn't want to be on the ropes where Montana can whack him like that. People, of course, have denigrated Todd's defense from time to time, and he feels like it's improved a lot. And it has. Although tonight in this first round, Montana's been able to get some shots in.
Counter right and the left hand over the top by Foster.
There's the jab of Todd Foster. When he uses that, he is really an effective boxer. Good counter left there, and what Foster needs to do is counter Montana when he's throwing those overhand rights.
And I think he hurt Montana.
Yeah, he did.
He hurts him again. And now Montana's legs are not all under him right at the moment.
Now look at Foster use the jab as a rangefinder. Excellent work by Todd Foster. Even though he didn't land the bomb there, he really was looking to set it up.
And good body work also.
Well, what was otherwise a good first round for Montana turns sour as he gets hurt.
Good body work again by Foster. Then coming upstairs. Montana seems okay right now. And Montana will get through the first round after being stunned by Todd Foster. All told, not a bad round for Davey Montana. Not enough to win it.
Read it. Read it. Good round. Good round. Take a drink. Split the first one. Pretty good, Dave. Breathe deep. Okay, listen up. No chasing him. Stay in the middle of the ring. Middle of the ring. Move. More head movement. Right hand's over the top. Left hook to the body. Head movement. Right hand over the top. Left hook to the body. Stay in the middle of the ring.
Excellent corner work there by Pat Jefferson. I'll get to a story about him in a moment. There's the overhand. Now here's what he's talking about. He's chasing Foster and getting hit with these shots. Lunging in and getting nailed with those shots.
Very sound advice in the corner of Davey Montana.
Pat Jefferson told him one important sequence and repeat it. And look at it, paid off right away. Center of the ring, an overhand right by Montana and a left to the body of Foster. Pat Jefferson was a very good boxer who was the victim of what might have been the worst decision I've ever seen, or one of the two or three, against Cubanito Perez some years ago. I think it might have been on the Hagler Hearns card, underneath Hagler Hearns. He lost to Cubanito Perez he was in Las Vegas. An atrocious decision.
We've seen one or two of those.
And we have seen one or two, yes, everywhere.
In the first round, the numbers, Foster busier, more effective, and simply said won the round.
And had been, and that's with Montana doing well early in the round, so you can see how Foster came back.
Foster working off the jab there, triple jab, and then the right hand.
What they want him to do is when Foster puts that jab out there, counter with the overhand right, and then come with the hook. That's what they want Montana to do.
Pretty good jab by Foster. All three of them got there. Foster doubling and tripling on the jab. And there with a left hook and a right hook behind it, and that backs Montana up again. Foster being very effective in this fight.
His jab, which I talked about as a key to victory, is certainly there for him tonight. Foster's landing it very well.
It's a solid jab, too. Nice body shot by Foster also. It's not a pawing jab. Jab and a right hand. Body shot. Foster using the whole arsenal here.
Well, offense has never been Todd Foster's problem at all. He's got all the punches. He throws them well. And if he can get off on a boxer, he's a very difficult man to take care of. He told us today the one thing that he still feels he's not doing as well as he should is bending his legs and getting leverage into some of his punches. Tends to stand a little too straight up.
lead that time. Backs Montana up.
Foster is throwing his punches in combination. Very important for him.
Really is, and he's showing a lot of different looks too. Came with the right hand lead a moment ago. He's been working off doubles and triple jabs. Very good round for Todd Foster. Into round 2, and we'll be back.
Ow.
Todd Foster landing or throwing out 2 good jabs and then coming with the right afterwards. A good indication of the combination punching he's doing.
Anxious to see the connect percentage rate for Foster, which in that last round I have the feeling was quite impressive.
Well, for one, there's the percentage through 2 of the rounds, which is an indication of how well Foster's landing, 60%.
And if I'm reading Bob Canobio's lips right, 68% in the second round.
We've become experts at reading Bob Canobio's lips over the years.
Foster starts out the third round just about the same.
Foster's landed 57 of 104 jabs. Montana 7 of 44, so obviously it's a much bigger weapon for Todd.
Foster's also picking Montana. A low blow there by Foster. He's picking Montana's punches very well too. Shutout for you, not a surprise.
No, Foster dominating the action, and in the last round really stunned Davey Montana several times. And you do get the feeling here that Montana might go at any time. Davey's really putting up a game effort, he really is, and has landed some punches, but Foster has too many physical edges, and we mentioned the fact that Montana's only fought twice since 1988, so he's really rusty.
And I asked him if Montana was really his name. We said, "You're not really serious. Is that really your name?" And he said, "Well, it's easier to pronounce than Hohalter."
Yes, it is. And in the boxing game, probably got him more attention.
But Joe Montana's real name is Joe.
Oh, there you are.
And again, Foster just continuing to pepper Montana. Triple jab again by Foster. And the head movement of Montana not there as much as it was, and that's making it even easier for Foster.
Very meticulous effort by Todd Foster, as we've seen from him in recent bouts here on ESPN. Going about his business. He's not desperate for a knockout. He wants to really apply his craft and get better at it.
Cut under the right eye of Montana. You can see Foster continues to pick most of Montana's punches as we come to the end of the third round in a fight that has been owned by Todd Foster. We'll be back.
I'm going to be the Grand Marshal of a rodeo on August 16th and 17th in Payson, Arizona. That should be fun, huh?
These things are a lot of fun.
I'm going to enjoy it. I've never been a Grand Marshal before. I've never even been a Marshal.
No, but you can wave. You're a good waver.
I'm going to ride.
Everybody on this crew knows that.
Right. That's true. I'm going to ride and wave. I can handle that.
In the third round again, Foster 61%, throwing almost 100 punches too. And Montana just not able to get there. As you said, it's not that Montana's not trying.
He is making a sincere effort and throwing punches that he thinks can land against Foster, but they're just not getting there. And the basic plan of getting the overhand right in has not been there for the last round or so. And that's making these even more difficult for Montana.
Triple jab again. Actually, 2 jabs and a hook from Foster. There was a big left hand. I think I'm as impressed with Foster's defense in this fight as I am his offense.
He has been pretty good. Now, of course, Montana not the quickest puncher on earth, but Davey is throwing those punches with, there's a couple of uppercuts. And Todd's been pretty good about moving his head and blocking those punches. There's blood coming from the top of the forehead, I think, of Davey Montana.
Yeah, rather unusual place to be cut. Those cuts always seem to bleed and look worse than they are. Incidentally, we had a report that a doctor was tending to Scotty Olsen in the dressing room. We will try to get an update on what, if anything, there is to report.
I think he was a little nauseous and maybe vomiting in there. We don't know.
Double left hand, didn't mean to interrupt, out, knocks Montana back.
We don't know if it's anything more serious, so we don't alarm anybody. Now, this is a precision effort by Todd Foster. He is just doing what it takes here. And I think now has Montana in some trouble.
Montana fights off with the jab.
Foster kind of smiles at him. Hey, Davey Montana's a tough guy. He's taken a lot of shots and has always been looking to throw his own punches.
That's always a compliment, frankly, I hate to give.
Well, yeah, except in addition to being tough, yeah, it is because the guy will take a lot of punishment, but in addition to being tough, he's also throwing.
Good right hand lead again by Foster. Foster's starting to beat up pretty good on Davey Montana right now.
And this has been by far the most difficult round for him.
Double jab and a left hook at the end of the round. In microcosm, the story of this fight for Todd Foster.
All right, now, I want you to stay in that rhythm, but I want you to get back out on the end after every exchange. You understand? Yeah. So he don't get in there and butt you, okay? Now, the rhythm is perfect. The pace is perfect now. You've closed the gap. Now I want you to start, get back and establish that jab and keep that rhythm right there. This guy won't go much longer if you do that. Now, if you let him up, he can be in here for a while. Let's get him right now, okay?
Here is Scotty Olsen, or Todd Foster landing the straight left hand and the jab very effectively.
You won't get better. Doing seconds out. Let's get him out of here.
We start the fifth round. Through the first 4 rounds, the story has been Todd Foster overwhelming.
Goodness. Wow. I mean, that's a huge edge. And 61% is terrific for Todd Foster.
Come over the top, man. Together. Bang, bang, together.
Well, they are kind of angling toward a match between Foster and Kelsey Banks, who was the lightweight on the Olympics, teammate of Todd Foster. And Foster's fighting as a junior welterweight tonight, but truly he wants to be a lightweight champion, and he's mostly effective as a lightweight.
Yeah, they really want to keep him at lightweight, although I'm not sure Todd entirely agreed with Kenny Weldon.
Yeah, he may have felt that there's some, well, he felt it was tougher for him to make lightweight than Kenny Weldon, his trainer was suggesting. Okay, he's unloaded on Montana, Barry, and Montana has stayed in there, which is surprising at this point. Montana's head getting in there, and they were worried about that in between rounds. As you heard Kenny Weldon saying, don't be in a position where he can hit you with that head. I think Davey Montana starting to wear down a little bit.
Yeah, it looks that way right at the moment. Good body shot again by Foster. They call that low, and second warning to Todd Foster.
Think he can afford to lose a point?
I think he probably can.
Kind of like being ahead by 30 points in a football game and saying, I think I'll give him a safety if I have to.
And again, the head movement of Davey Montana right now is non-existent.
know, the interesting thing here is Davey Montana has continued to try, looking to land something against Foster. The problem is he just hasn't been able to unload the overhand right.
So we come to the end of the 5th round, and the story is the same as in 1, 2, 3, and 4. Todd Foster. We'll be back. Start the 6th round. Remember, this fight's scheduled for 12 because it is for the Montana State Championship.
If Davey Montana were to take this much punishment over 12 rounds, that would be tough.
Yeah, because it is pretty clear, I think, that Foster pitched a shutout at this point. The first 5, it is in fact a shutout. I don't think you can argue with that.
No, even though we saw some odd scoring in the last bout, wildly divergent.
Nice uppercut by Foster. Another. Goes once, try it again.
Found a home for that punch, and until it doesn't work, you keep using it.
And a short right hand. Most impressive thing, I think, about Foster, and you touched on it earlier, is the fact that he's throwing punches in combinations. Very rarely does he throw a single punch.
No, and you know, that's what makes him an impressive boxer. Now, part of it is Davey Montana is there to be hit.
That was a solar plexus shot, not a low blow.
No, but he was already down when Todd Foster went to hit him. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to harp on this as Davey Montana gets up. You should take a point away from Todd Foster right now. I don't care what state we're in, and I don't care what boxer it is. You don't walk over and hit a guy when he's down.
They are taking a point away from
good
Todd
for
Foster.
them. Good for them.
Oh, nice call.
Well, it's the right thing to do.
There was a shot to the solar plexus, but then it was a shot after that.
He should get credit for the knockdown, and he did. And Davey Montana is hurting, so the issue might not be in doubt anyway.
And another shot right in the same place. And that may be it, or maybe a standing 8
Could be a standing 8
That's
count.
what it's going to be.
A low blow?
Oh, no. That I did not see.
No. A point being taken away from Foster for a low blow. Well, now that's kind of persecution.
Yeah, now that I did not see. That looked to me like it was in the same place as the first one.
Those look like good body shots to me.
Absolutely.
But I think Todd Foster's taking a chance. I'd go back to the head just to make sure I didn't get more points taken away. It's gotten wild here in round 6.
Montana hit him with a right hand, but it wasn't much of a right hand.
Foster knows the place to go is the body, but he's protecting himself there, so Foster's punches could look like they're going low. I'd go to the head if I was Foster right now. Because he's had 2 points taken away already in this round.
I think the thing now that we really need to find out is, did they count that as a knockdown?
Yes, I assume they did, but that is a good question.
I'm not sure.
And maybe the point was taken away instead of for hitting when he was down for a low blow.
Yeah, and I don't think that one was a low blow either.
And one more point being deducted from Foster, and they could disqualify him. We'll try and get a clarification if at all possible.
Did you hit him low over there?
Let's watch his head, huh?
All right, listen to me. We need to keep this up one more round. This guy can't hang now. You let him off the hook now, we're in for a long night. And I'll tell you something else. When you get him bending over like that, just take a step back on your right foot a little bit and use a lot of speed. Bump, 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 then reach hard down to the body. Get speed at the top, get a little bit of room, get speed at the top, and reach underneath.
Let's look at where Montana went down, and we are now trying to find out what they called here. Here's Foster. He hit him with a good right. I didn't even see a body shot. He just hurt him with a shot. But there is Foster hitting him when he's down.
And that's a reason to take a point away, but not for that punch.
No, the punch was legal. Now there is where the low blow was. It was low, that's for sure. And the referee did take it, but you know, I'm not sure how many of those there were and whether that was warranted. We're still trying to find out if in fact that was called a knockdown, and we'll know in just a moment or two.
This, remember, for the Montana Junior Welterweight Championship, Todd Foster in the black, Davey Montana in the blue, and other than a bit of a disagreement as to what exactly transpired in the last round. As we understand it now, they took only 1 point away in that round. We do not know yet whether or not it was considered to be a knockdown. I'm assuming it was not, but they only took 1 point, not 2.
Well, the
away.
referee twice went to the
yes,
judges
he did,
to take
but
a point away.
We did check with the commissioner, and she said 1 punch. 1 point, I should say.
All right, well, we're going to check further even to make doubly sure. And there, boy, well, whatever happened the last one, you know Foster did better. As those numbers showed. I don't believe it was called a knockdown.
I believe that's right. Once again, I'm reading lips. This time I'm reading lips of the commissioner across the ring. And I believe that is what she said, no knockdown. We're awaiting the official word from the Paul Revere of stage managers.
1th by land, no knockdown is what they're calling. 2th by sea and 3th by butte. Something along those lines.
Dan Ormsby, who's put a few miles on today.
He certainly has. There you go. So 1 point being taken away in that last round.
And no knockdown, which basically makes it an even round. So it really doesn't cost Todd Foster very much in a fight that he is lopsidedly in front. And Montana continues to try.
He is still winging punches, throwing that overhand right, there it is, but it's just not really getting there, not even getting close. It makes you wonder, what did they call him that first time when he went down? Was it a knockdown? Was it a low blow?
I think it was the low blow, which I think what they're saying is it occurred before the knockdown. But if it's the blow that we saw in a replay. Well, it makes for an interesting discussion anyway. No doubt as to the outcome of the fight, I don't believe. We'll be back.
6, where the possible knockdown took place. Personally, I just think that's a knockdown.
I do too.
He got hit in the chest and the head, and now we move to the 8th.
Really is a moot point in the great scheme of things, but
that's my story, and I'm sticking to
stay
it.
to it.
What's my scoring? It's so silly. 69-63, and Foster just pretty much dominating.
And that round in which there was the alleged knockdown scored as a 9-9 round because they
begrudgingly, even though Foster really won it. I guess I could have made it 9-8 or something for him, but I made it 9-9. Good body shot by Foster. Not a bad idea to go back downstairs.
I think that had an effect on Montana.
It really did.
And another, and down he goes.
And that was a legal body shot.
Might be a good idea to stay here for Davey Montana. Well, he gets up, and this will go on, I don't believe, much longer.
I think another good left hook downstairs might end it for Foster.
Right hand to the head. And this one is just about over, folks.
Montana trying to protect that right side. Tell you what, Davey Montana, a rugged guy, but as you said, sometimes that's not so good.
There's a body shot.
Foster just looking for a chance to unload that left hook to the body. He has to get himself in position first, though. And showing what a smart fighter he is by not throwing it until he is ready to throw it, Barry. Not everyone will be able to hold that back. And they might get caught with something.
Yeah, there's not much to criticize Todd Foster on in this fight. And again, you have to understand who he's fighting. And his opponents are going to get a little bit tougher. And that's not to degrade Davey Montana at all. Good left hand there, and Montana's in big trouble. That could be it.
Boy, look at Montana. Montana fight back. Amazing. Give him credit for that at least. Foster hitting him with everything. And I think if I was in Davey Montana's corner after this round, though, I might suggest not coming out.
He took a good long look at his corner there, too. 5 seconds left. He will get through this round. I have to admit, I didn't think he would. Will there be more?
Good job, Davey.
Good job. You did. You okay, bud?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Either rib hurt? You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. Listen up.
Yeah, I am.
Here's the knockdown from Todd Foster. It will be caused by a terrific left hook underneath. Oh, man. There is the left hook that sent him down. Later on in the round, Foster showing us his hand speed and the good right hand. But look at Montana fight back off these ropes. I mean, it's really extraordinary in his part. Didn't get anything done, but he showed you the toughness.
You might have heard him talk about his left rib, so. Once again, we'll see. Discretion might not be the better part of valor here. Speaking of cliches we know and love.
You take care of your cliches and they'll take care of you. That's our motto as sportscasters. Right. Hey, Rudy Martzke. Yeah, there's a fairly good edge for Todd Foster. 7, and look at the numbers he's throwing. He's on schedule to throw an enormous number of punches, but he probably won't get long enough to do that over 12 rounds because he is landing so well here that he might take Montana out early.
And Montana really does not have much left. That looked like it might have been a low blow.
And by the way, before this evening passes, we want to wish a happy 35th birthday to our producer, Kenny Dennis.
Right on.
We will be having it this week. We had a little celebration for him here at the truck, and he's a good man, and we wish him the best. Well, you know, this one could end at any time, and it wouldn't be a bad idea. It really wouldn't.
Yeah, Montana's taken a pretty good beating here. He's been game,
and he has nothing left to prove here. He has tried very hard. He didn't come here to lose. He didn't come here to lay down. He's not just taking punishment. He's tried by throwing punches. They're still ripping as good shots as he can, but boy, he's just taking a lot of punishment at this time.
Left hand by Montana, back Foster off.
And there is, of course, the possibility that Foster will get so careless here that Montana could land something big, but we just wonder if that's possible. Still winging those overhand rights.
Yeah, he is, and they have a little on him.
Yeah, those are not totally useless punches.
Foster said something to the ref. I think he was talking about a headbutt. End of round 9. We'll be back.
Here's where a headbutt or a clash of heads caused a cut over the left eye of Todd Foster. He complains, and when he went back to his corner, he had a cut over that left eye.
And it's a pretty bad cut. If that cut happened earlier in this fight, that could be a real problem for Todd Foster.
Now, the rule here in Montana is a fight would be stopped because of a cut, because of a clash of heads, and I assume they ruled it such. They would go to the scorecards even after the first round, because we're well past that point.
Yeah, it's not going to have any effect on this fight, but...
Well, unless it gets really, really bad. It's in a pretty bad spot, Barry.
Yeah, it is.
So if for some reason they didn't rule it from a headbutt, although I couldn't imagine how you wouldn't.
There was another clash of heads right there.
Now Foster is saying, you want to butt me? I'm going to go right to that body and punish you. And that's what he did. He wants to get Montana out of there now.
That is a very nasty cut. And again, now you have to start thinking long range for Todd Foster. And is that going to have any effect on his plans? Because he likes to fight every 3 weeks or so.
Yeah, he does. He certainly don't want that in any case. Oh, my.
Huge combination. Almost time to stop this. And it is stopped. And that is a very bad cut on Todd Foster's eye.
And that's why Todd Foster, as he revels in the crowd reaction, wanted to end this fight because he did not want that eye to be in any worse shape than it was. And I'll tell you, he was just mad over that cut.
I don't blame him.
And that's where their concern is immediately. Gary Sullinger getting in there to do some work on the cut. And you hit it, Barry. That's something that could be of concern to them in the future because he is an active boxer, wants to remain active.
You got a good look at the size of that cut.
Yeah,
that is
bad.
Deep and in a bad place. And that will definitely take the edge off of this victory for Todd Foster, I'm certain. Meanwhile, Davey Montana, beaten fighter.
Here's where Foster went after him and really landed some big shots. And he had Montana in all kinds of trouble. The referee over here on this side moves over here finally and realizes I better step in because Davey Montana has had it and just barely averted another punch by Foster. And from yet another angle, it's just as painful to Davey Montana. And well stopped by the referee, to be sure.
Well, definitely well stopped. Montana did not have anything left. And let's take a look at the numbers from this fight. Very impressive, to be sure.
Both in the numbers of thrown and in terms of the percentage. Anytime you're over 50%, you're terrific. And when you hover around 60, that's extraordinary.
You're doing something right. Let's get the official word now from Michael Buffer. Mike?
Ladies and gentlemen, referee John Lefevre steps in to stop this bout. At 1 minute 15 seconds of the 10th round, the winner by TKO, and now holding 2 titles here in the state of Montana. He's now the Montana State Junior Welterweight Champion, still undefeated, Todd Kid Foster.
And if Todd is Kid Foster, then what's his kid? So there's a couple of winners. A champion to be and maybe a champion to be later. We'll be back to talk with Todd Foster after this. By Todd Foster, and I'm certain that'll take a little bit of the edge off this victory. Right now, Todd Foster is with Al Bernstein and Tice Foster.
Well, thank you, Barry. We could start a sitcom here, couldn't we? We got the whole family. Yeah, that's a little Tice there. We'll probably talk to him in a second or two. But first, I guess we should talk to Dad. Barry pointed out that cut probably took a little of the edge off this win. It came toward the end of the bout, and you probably made you more anxious to get him out of there.
Yeah, I was probably a little bit too anxious a lot of times. And when I got him hurt, I got out of my rhythm a little bit, and I went straight up in the air instead of bending my legs and sliding in and following it up. It was a little bit because I had hurt my right elbow in training, and I hadn't been able to throw it, so I was just off a little bit. It threw my rhythm off a little bit, and I threw my whole fight off.
But you were able to completely dominate during the fight, Todd. Was there ever any moment where anything he threw gave you any problems?
No, a couple of times on the overhand rights, I would just kind of take a half step out instead of maybe 1.5 or 2, and he would glance me. He never did hurt me ever in a fight. He thumbed me once, I think, about the 4th or 5th round, and that kind of took my vision out of my right eye a little bit, but other than that, I was all right.
Well, you were worried about the headbutting, and I don't know if we'll have a chance now to see where he did butt you, but it was a difficult thing for you toward the end, and we'll take a look at it, Todd. Maybe you can comment on it so we can see here.
Well, I started getting out over my left foot because I got a bad blister on my right foot, and I let him fall into me instead of taking my right foot out because it was hurting so bad.
And now at that point, you went after him in a way that you hadn't even gone after him before. I think, yes, you're right. Daddy did a good job. Tyson wants to talk here in the worst way. And it looked like you were more intent on even taking him out.
Yeah, I knew I had hurt him with the good right hand right on the end of the chin. And, I let him go too many times in this fight. I had hurt him.
and I let him go. It was partly my fault, partly, you know, a good job on his experience that he had throughout all of his fights, and he didn't let me take him out.
All right, let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at the end of the fight where we can see just how well you did there.
Well, I started stepping up with my right foot a little bit. See, I came up with it, I second stepped with it, and that's what my corner told me to do, and I had him out pretty good on the ropes there, and you know, I'm glad Johnny stopped it because I wanted to, I wanted to take him out, but he was out, and it was nice that he got in there.
Well, it was well stopped, to be sure. Let's see if we can sneak Bob Spagnola in over here. Bob, obviously everyone's asking where Todd's going to move from here. He's got, he's going to be, looks like he's ready for like a top 10 contender or somebody. Do you have any names in mind?
Not really. We're looking at some dates. Obviously, with this eye, we'll have to relook the whole situation. But there are, you know, the Kelsey Banks fight obviously has been mentioned. But we moved up a little bit, fought a little heavy for this fight, and we belong at 135 pounds, and that's where we're looking to contend.
Lightweight is really his division.
Absolutely.
Now, you talked about possibly Kelsey Banks. Given the eye situation, what would be a projected date for, let's say, a match like that, generally?
Well, you know, after the eye gets better, certainly, for one, depending on how long he's out, he might have another bout prior to that. But we're looking to fight for a national title here before the end of the year, and hopefully contend for a world championship early next year.
That's the timetable, really early next year for a world title.
That's right.
All right. Todd, congratulations on your win. It was terrific, and you love fighting here in Montana, don't you?
Oh, yeah, this is the place. You know, the people love me. They back Davey also because he's from Montana, but, you know, majority of these people are on my side, and I like that.
All right, Tice, you're looking good, pal. Okay. Congratulations to Todd Foster. A happy Todd Foster, a happy family. We'll be back with more here on Top Rank Boxing. Don't you dare go away.
Full Sports Network, and we are sports. What do I know?
here.
Anyway, Todd Foster tonight, and there was some concern, I thought, from Bob Spagnola about that cut. He apparently will be down for a while.
That was a very deep cut, and you know, it's really a shame to get that in a bout where you're winning, you have complete control, and then you get butted. I mean, it really is a sad situation, and the question is, how long will it keep him out? Because as you said, he thrives on activity, this kind of activity.
And this in round 10, which was ultimately the final round of this fight. Todd Foster, of course, in the black. Al Bernstein, we are back at the Taj Mahal here in Atlantic City. And remind you, the Top Rank Al Bernstein, we're back at the Taj Mahal here in Atlantic City. Got a little time for a little bonus coverage. Why
That's
not?
great.
Huh?
We always like that.
Let's get another little bit of boxing in. A fight that took place a little bit earlier this evening, and it was an entertaining fight for however short a time. Billy Mastrangelo and Drew Mad Dog Hayes. Let's go back and take a look at that one. He's won 3 times and lost on his fourth fight, so he is 3-1, and Mad Dog still looking to bite somebody. Hayes in the black, Mastrangelo in the striped trunks. A lot of frenetic activity, not much in the way of punches being thrown. Right hand by Mastrangelo got there, and a left hand by Mastrangelo knocks Mad Dog backward. Mastrangelo doing basically what he wants right now.
Drew Hayes keeping his hands very, very low. And Mastrangelo really able to get in the left hook and the overhand right over the jab. There it is. There's the overhand right.
Mastrangelo seems to slap a little bit with the overhand right and lunges with his left. Right hand got there, staggered Mad Dog, and the right hand staggers him again.
And you're right, he does slap with it, but that one right hand was delivered very well and really got Hayes in trouble. Drew Hayes is going to be thrilled to get out of this first round if he can do it.
Sure, it feels to him like it's about 10 minutes long, and it still has a ways to go as you see it.
You know, Mastrangelo can just throw the right hand at will, Barry, anytime he feels like it, and land it.
Yeah, Hayes has been no secret so far. And right to the top of the head, and he really pushed Hayes down, but Hayes was on his way anyway.
By all rights, that's a push, but he's so hurt from the punch, you almost have to call it a knockdown. Yeah.
And it's over. So Billy Mastrangelo is, to say that he's an easy winner is probably to make an understatement.
Yeah, he had absolutely no trouble hitting Drew Hayes and did it often. Found out he could land the right hand over the jab and just about everything else. There's Hayes on the mat. We certainly hope he'll be all right.
You gotta show good sportsmanship. Some night you may be lying like that. Don't do that. You kick it out. Go over with yourself.
Take a look at the overhead right. This was early in the round. Off the temple that hurt Drew Hayes, and he wobbled a bit. And that would be the pattern in this bout, however short it went. And here's the end of the bout. Again, it was the pattern. There you see the right hand. He pushed him down, but it didn't matter because Hayes was hurt already.
So this one over quickly as we take another look at the end of it, Al.
Again, you see the right hand landing after the left hook did, and Mastrangelo just, had no trouble hitting Hayes. Poor defense on the part of Drew Hayes.
Here's the official word with Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout comes to an end at 2 minutes and 11 seconds of the very first round. The winner by TKO from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Billy the Master Angel Mastrangelo.
So Billy Mastrangelo, an easy winner. Didn't take him too long, and Mad Dog simply wasn't.